of bring it full circle. I mean, if I could get your guys' thoughts on what are the benefits of, as we saw from the research and everything, aside from obviously mental health and happiness, which we all want more of, but from a business perspective, what are some of the things, the benefits of CSR for companies to pursue this and build structured programs around?
I'll go first, Pat. So look, the overwhelming benefit from Telstra perspective is that about 18 months ago we had our employee engagement survey results, and there was a very clear message from our employees which said that we could do more as a company in terms of contributing to the local community. Now, for those of you that know Telstra back in Australia, I mean, Telstra in Australia has a very high-profile, embedded Telstra Foundation sustainability strategy. However, in Hong Kong, we have 700 staff here in Hong Kong. We hadn't really taken the opportunity to do something similar. So we really acted on that feedback from our employees. And as you said, we launched our foundation last year in December 2016. But it took a bit of time in terms of engaging with our team in Hong Kong to be clear about the strategy, to get the working group together, etc. So again, overwhelmingly, it's about staff engagement and feeling that they have a sense of role and fulfillment to play back to the local community.
Yeah, I'd like to point towards the Edelman Trust Barometer. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. They do this every year on society's trust on different organizations, governments, etc. And you know, public trust on companies, corporates, is very low. And there is an expectation from society that corporates need to kind of step up in what they do in society, because I think that we cannot divorce the fact that our business activities has a social and environmental impact. And the reason why we have so many social issues and environmental issues in these days is predominantly because businesses, well, one of the big reasons is that businesses have divorced these and have treated these as externalities, somebody else's problem, whilst I maximize shareholder return. And I think that, you know, society and humanity as a whole is really questioning this model. And if we do not understand these externalities and deal with them, you know, I think that we will not be able to serve the problems. I don't think corporates can serve all, you know, deal with all the problems, but I think that they have a role to play.
Thank you, I absolutely agree. I mean, and in terms of adding a couple more facts and figures to that, aside from employee engagement and what you mentioned, Pat, I think I found a 2014 survey, coincidentally by Nielsen, that said that 50% of millennials want to work for a company with ethical practices. So, I mean, employee satisfaction and job retention has been shown time and time again to be boosted by well thought out and strategic CSR initiatives that are driven by corporates. And in a further study that looks beyond just HR, there was favorable stakeholder attitudes and company competitiveness. So in terms of, you know, people purchasing decisions and seeking employment as well as investment, we're seeing a huge influx of money into responsible investment as well. So these are all things that are evolving and driving that. So that's all good news. But just to bring it back to actually practical application, how do you actually, and I'll give it to you, Maisie, how do you actually ensure that employees get involved and actually show up for events? Because there's a fear of, you know, possibly spending all this time organizing an event and then nobody shows up, or, you know, it's just all sorts of things could happen. So can you talk a bit about that?
Sure. When we were looking to, I suppose, build a working group for the foundation, I'm very, very proud to say that I've got two key members of the committee here. So Stella Chan and Fan Ho sitting right here at the table. I was initially tasked with, look, just bring some people together and go and run with it. So certainly the first challenge was, how do we build that engagement that is sustained at a grassroots level? Because you want something that is really meaningful to staff within the broader team, cross-functional team, and that they actually really own it. So the first thing is really looking at a spread of people who are very passionate, committed, and natural leaders. And when I say leader, it doesn't mean somebody who's necessarily senior, but somebody who actually takes action and able to corral people. In terms of how do you make sure there's that repeat attendance or repeat engagement, look, the first thing we did with the foundation was actually sent a survey out to staff. So when we did a couple of things right from the beginning. So one was we did a bit of an assessment of the social landscape in Hong Kong.